Hello viewers, you're welcome to my channel once again. So today we have this wonderful problem to resolve. We have x factorial over 6 factorial to be equal to 7 factorial. So from here, for us to begin, let's cross multiply to have x factorial to be equal to 7 factorial times 6 factorial. Now let's recall that 7 factorial is equal to 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and 6 factorial is equal to 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So merging it together, we have x factorial to be equal to 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and for the 6 factorial we have 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So from here we have x factorial to be equal to 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 6 times 5 times 4. We will move these 2 over here to have times 2 times 3 and times 1. So from here x factorial is equal to 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 6 times 5. We have 4 times 2 to be 8, so we have 8 times 3 times 1. Now we'll be moving this 8 to the front to have x factorial is equal to 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 6 times 5 times 3 times 1. So our x factorial is equal to 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. This 6 we can split it into 2 to have 2 times 3 times 5 times 3 times 1. So our x factorial is equal to 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 2 times 3. Moving this 3 over here, we have 3 times 5 times 1. So we have x factorial to be equal to 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 2. We have 3 times 3 to be 9 times 5 times 1. So our x factorial is equal to, moving the 9 to the front, we have 9 times 8, 7 times 6, 5 times 4, 3 times 2 times 1. We have times 2 times 5 and times 1. So we have x factorial to be equal to 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. We have 2 times 5 to be 10 and times 1. So we have x factorial to be equal to, moving this 10 to the front, we have 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 and times 1. So our x factorial is equal to 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is equal to 10 factorial. So our x factorial is equal to 10 factorial. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our solutions.